So yesterday, the sun went dark. The earth shook and trembled. Fire raged across the land, consuming all in its wake. The screams of the forsaken masses could be heard rising up with the smoke. Horror of horrors. The ultimate nightmare had come to pass. Elon Musk taking control of Twitter.
Well, it looks like Twitter's gone. They accepted the money, and Elon Stalin is taking over. So f*** you, Twitter, and goodbye forever, you insane Q-like forum. Or soon to be insane like Q-like forum. Peace out. Bye.
If you get invited to something where there are no rules, where there is total freedom for everybody, do you actually want to go to that party? Or are you going to decide to stay home? And that's a question for Twitter users. Some Twitter users might love the idea that there's going to be absolutely no moderation and no rules at all. Others might not want to be anywhere near that. Am I crazy, Matt?
Of course, minor detail here. Stelter is lying, obviously. Musk has never said that there will be no moderation at all. I mean, that's the thing about all this panicking. Oh, he's going to get rid of the rules. He actually never said he was going to do that.
Is someone you don't like allowed to say something you don't like? And if that is the case, then we have free speech. And it's damn annoying when someone you don't like says something you don't like. That is a sign of a healthy, functioning free speech situation.
So censorship and propaganda are at the very heart of neoliberalism. And Elon Musk is challenging all of that directly.
But there was this tweet from Max Boot of the Washington Post who said, quote, "I am frightened by the impact on society and politics if Elon Musk acquires Twitter. He seems to believe that on social media anything goes. For democracy to survive, we need more content moderation, not less."
Elon Musk, this is directly to you. Enjoy Twitter. I just deactivated mine. I will not be reactivating it. Enjoy.
I'm actually a socialist. Just not the kind that shifts resources from the most productive to the least productive, pretending to do good while actually causing harm. True socialism seeks greatest good for all. He's also not a guy donating only to Democrats or to Republicans. Since 2002, he's given a total of more than $1 million to politicians, parties, and PACs on both sides of the aisle. Among the Democratic recipients of Elon Musk's contributions, $1,000 to Debbie Wasserman Schultz in 2010, $2,500 to Barack Obama in 2011, $5,300 to Rahm Emanuel in 2013, $2,300 to Hillary Clinton in 2016, $5,000 to Gavin Newsom in 2018. For the Republicans, he donated $2,000 to George W. Bush in 2002, $2,500 to Marco Rubio in 2011, $5,200 to Lindsey Graham in 2013, $2,600 to Kevin McCarthy in 2014, $2,800 to Joni Ernst in 2020. His total donations to Democrats and Republicans are almost exactly even.
I deactivated my account and deleted the app. That's what I think of it. Elon Musk.
This deal is dangerous for our democracy. Billionaires like Elon Musk play by a different set of rules than everybody else, accumulating power for their own gain. We need a wealth tax and strong rules to hold big tech accountable.
Today, Twitter has announced that they've been bought by Elon Musk, or however you say his name. I'm not interested in staying on Twitter anymore because of this, and I think there's a lot of people that are about to leave. So I just wanted to let everyone know that you can find me here. I'm going to also share this on Twitter before I deactivate my account so that anyone who wants to follow me can find me here as well.
Welcome back. The liberal media freaking out over Elon Musk's attempt to bring free speech back to Twitter.
When talking about this, it's kind of funny. Oh, Elon Musk wants to buy it, but there are massive life and globe altering consequences for just letting people run wild on the thing.
Last night, Musk offered to buy Twitter for $43 billion in cash. Oh my God! He could do so much with that money. Address world hunger, fix climate change. Hey, you ding-a-ling. Twitter's already an international platform for free speech. You know how I know that? Because no one at Twitter can stop me from tweeting, "Suck it, Elon Musk," in every language.
They are freaking out. Meanwhile, the turmoil at Twitter is ramping up. The company enacted a so-called poison pill to stop Musk from taking over, but it could hurt the company financially. And get this, employees are complaining that Musk ruined their calm focus week.
Hey, I did a thing today. I deactivated my Twitter account. You can too.
Ahora tenemos en mano la grabación de audio filtrada de la reunión de todos los grupos de Twitter que se celebró hace 4 días, justo después de que se anunció que Elon Musk estaba tomando el control de la empresa. Ahora, este audio fue bastante revelador porque muestra cómo los altos ejecutivos de la compañía, incluido el señor Parag Agrawal, el director general, están tratando de controlar la compra de la plataforma por parte de Elon Musk, cómo ayudar a los empleados de la empresa a hacer frente a los cambios que se avecinan, especialmente los cambios que tienen que ver con la libertad de expresión. Entonces, bueno, repasemos juntos este audio filtrado, comenzando con una parte sobre la libertad de expresión. Ahora, para su referencia, la forma en que esta reunión funcionó es que la señora Leslie Berland, que es la directora de marketing de Twitter, estaba leyendo en voz alta las preguntas que los miembros del personal de Twitter presentaron al CEO. Escuchemos.
Question for you, Parag. Is there an updated understanding on what free speech means that we're aware of?
I think we all understand what free speech means. I don't think it's about an updated understanding of that. It's been a concept that's existed for a while. But I think I'm going to try to read the question behind the question here, which is where might Twitter's product go as a private company in the future once this deal closes? And I think that's a great question. To best gain perspective on this, as I said earlier, we'll find ways to bring Elon for a Q&A with all of you. Me, a lot of your leadership team will spend time with Elon to understand better what his vision for the future of Twitter might look like, and have a two-way dialogue where we inform and educate him on the work we have done and the things we have learned along the way, and understand what his ambitions and aspirations might be to see how we can best collaborate.
Creo que su respuesta ha dado bastante vueltas, pero no ha llegado al fondo de la cuestión. La visión que Elon Musk ha expresado públicamente para la empresa parece estar en contradicción directa con la visión que ha expresado el actual director general, el señor Parag Agrawal. Por ejemplo, esta semana Elon Musk publicó una declaración que nos dio una idea de lo que quiere decir cuando utiliza el término libertad de expresión. Esto es lo que escribió. Por libertad de expresión me refiero simplemente a la que coincide con la ley. Estoy en contra de la censura que va más allá de la ley. Si la gente quiere menos libertad de expresión, pedirá al gobierno que apruebe leyes en ese sentido. Por lo tanto, ir más allá de la ley es contrario a la voluntad del pueblo. Ahora comparemos esta declaración de Elon Musk con la declaración hecha por el señor Agrawal en una entrevista con los medios de comunicación en el año 2020. Nuestro papel no es estar obligado por la primera enmienda, pero nuestro papel es servir a una conversación pública saludable y nuestros movimientos son el reflejo de las cosas que creemos que conducen a una conversación pública más saludable. El tipo de cosas que hacemos sobre esto se centran menos en pensar en la libertad de expresión, pero pensando en cómo los tiempos han cambiado. Entonces, a primera vista, al parecer, estos dos puntos de vista representan dos enfoques completamente diferentes para dirigir esta plataforma. Enfoques que probablemente no pueden coexistir. Además, otra pregunta durante esa reunión de Twitter se refería específicamente al futuro de las políticas de moderación de la compañía.
Elon made it clear in public that a large part of the reason he bought the platform was because of our moderation policies and disagreements in how we deal with health, something that we place in value very highly within the company. This puts Twitter service and trust and safety, as well as anybody who cares about health on the platform, in a very difficult position. Can you speak your thoughts on this and how those teams will be supported?
Great question. I believe Twitter grows as a service, allows for more people to use the product and have a better experience because we're able to make the conversation on Twitter be safe, because we are able to eliminate manipulation, because we are able to remove spammers, because we have built tools, processes for people to be able to feel safe and control their experiences. Twitter service, the role of our policies, and the capabilities we've built around content moderation are fundamental to keeping Twitter safe and growing. I believe that there is a lot of work we have to do to continue making that better. Sometimes that means more thoughtful moderation. Sometimes that means making things simpler. Sometimes that means changing product incentives to be able to solve problems through products sometimes instead of policies. So as I think about sort of the future in this closing period, we will continue evolving and iterating to improve the product and the health of the public conversation.
Entonces, de nuevo, esa respuesta parece bailar alrededor del tema y no ser muy definitiva. Sin embargo, en la pregunta existe una suposición, la suposición de que las personas que moderan tienen el monopolio de la verdad, que los moderadores saben más que las personas a las que moderan.
That it's about free speech of straight white men. And so let them have it. Let them just go at it. I enjoy the block button on Twitter.
Elon Musk calls himself a free speech absolutist. Well, first of all, that's BS.
Elon Musk buying Twitter says a lot about the priorities of people at the highest levels making decisions that could affect the fate of the planet.
If you own all of Twitter or Facebook or what have you, you don't have to explain yourself. You don't even have to be transparent. You could secretly ban one party's candidate or all of its candidates. The rest of us might not even find out about it till after the election.
And guess who the media is getting their talking points from? Democrats in the Biden White House also trashing Musk.
No matter who owns or runs Twitter, the president has long been concerned about the power of large social media platforms, the power they have over our everyday lives, has long argued that tech platforms must be held accountable for the harms they cause.
Raise your hand if this is like the best news you heard all day. Elon Musk is no longer the largest shareholder. This is awesome news. I know the only reason he wants to get on Twitter is because he wants to put Trump back on Twitter, and we can't let that happen. I've been able to sleep so much better after he has been gone off Twitter. How many of you guys agree with me? Honestly, with Trump's Twitter content gone, the world has been a better place.
Y de hecho en las preguntas se ha hablado específicamente de si se permitirá a un expresidente republicano volver a la plataforma. Escuchemos.
There are a couple of questions about Trump coming back on the platform. Will he, I guess that's the question. Will Trump, does this mean Trump will come back on the platform? Parag?
I think we've been doing our work to learn about what's happening out there. We constantly evolve our policies. We make decisions for the health of the public conversation every day. We've been doing this work. We will keep doing this work. Once the deal closes, we don't know which direction the platform will go in. I believe when we have an opportunity to speak with Elon in an AMA, it's a question we should address to him. I will, of course, be spending time with him to understand where he sees the future of Twitter, as I said earlier, and to inform him about the approaches we have taken, the principles that have guided us, the lessons we have learned along the way, so that we enable, through collaboration, a thriving Twitter in the future.
Are you concerned about the rise of American fascism? Well, today, you can be more concerned. It's almost certain that with this move, Trump is going to come back to social media. I mean, this has so many horrific implications, I'm not even sure where to start, to be completely honest with you. There is a problem with this idea of free speech, and that is, where is the limit? Free speech has the ability to incite some really horrific and hateful things. Like, for instance, an insurrection. If this asshole owns Twitter, the world is going to be a much worse place.
Ahora, otra cuestión planteada durante la reunión del ayuntamiento tenía que ver con la regulación gubernamental. Escuchemos.
Is there any impact to the FTC consent decree? If so, what would it be?
great question. I have not thought about it. Vijay?
There should be no impact to that. That is a agreement that we're entering into with the government. It's a settlement agreement, and we expect that no matter what form this company takes in the future, we will still be subject to that consent decree.
That's how Democrats feel right now, because in fact, everything is at stake. Joe Biden cannot continue to control this country if you have free access to information. It's that simple. Biden certainly is not improving your life. He's not even trying to improve your life. So the best he can do is lie to you and demand that you believe it. But to do that, he needs to make certain that nobody else can talk, because if you were to hear the truth, you might not obey. So today, to herald the coming of the new Soviet America, the administration announced its own Ministry of Truth. This will be called the Disinformation Governance Board. Laugh if you want, but just to show you they're not kidding around here, this board is not part of the State Department or any other agency focused on foreign threats from abroad. No. The Disinformation Governance Board is part of the Department of Homeland Security. DHS is a law enforcement agency designed to police the United States, and that, by the way, has a famously large stockpile of ammunition. So it's not a joke at all.
Information laundering is really quite ferocious. It's when a huckster takes some lies and makes them sound precocious by saying them in Congress or a mainstream outlet. So just information's origin seems slightly less atrocious.
Nina Jankowicz, Biden's new disinformation czar over at Homeland Security. If we all didn't know that this was really happening, if you didn't just witness that, we'd think this was all some kind of Orwellian spoof of what paranoid conservatives think the establishment on the left is planning. Part angry feminist, part frustrated karaoke singer, Jankowicz is the last person who should be trusted with distinguishing between fact and fiction.
The First Amendment does not apply to private platforms, and Facebook could very easily decide that climate denial or other, harmful hate speech and misinformation is not allowed on their platform. But they have decided instead to allow this kind of free speech fairy dust to reign over the platform. And I think that's where we need to see regulation come in.
And most importantly, for the current day, she is a Hunter Biden scandal denier.
Is this the same individual who said the dossier was real and the Hunter Biden laptop story was false? Is that the individual who's now running the Disinformation Governance Board?
I'm not familiar with those statements.
Been reported widely.
I'm not familiar with those.
I'm not familiar with that. Well, let me enlighten you, Mr. Secretary. What the new disinfo czar really said about Hunter Biden's laptop was that we should view it as a Trump campaign product. She obviously wants us to, emulate a European-style model of heavy regulation of internet content deemed harmful and dangerous.
Here's DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas.
We have just established a Mis- and Disinformation Governance Board in the Department of Homeland Security to more effectively combat this threat, not only to election security, but to our homeland security.
Oh, so one of America's top law enforcement officers just announces to the Congress that actually we're going to be policing what you say, and everyone in the room kind of nods, oh yeah, it's totally normal.
Many other prominent leftists vowed to leave the platform, though most of them appear to still be on the platform as of this morning. I mean, a lot of these people have been tweeting over and over and over again about how they're not going to use the platform anymore, and yet they're still using it to talk about how they're not going to use it. Perhaps their accounts merely identify as deactivated, I don't know.